I'm going to get started here in just a minute. See if anybody's going to jump on. I understand Mercury is pre-shadow retrograde and Uranus is really intense, so could be possible that nobody's online tonight. Anything's possible. And it's okay because I've been nudged to come through with some messages regardless. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Hello. I'm not sure who is on, but I see that there are some people on, so hello and welcome. Been nudged to, not nudged, the energy brings me in to do readings for the collective, and we are in some really interesting times here. Actually, a very pivotal point for humanity in human history currently. We have a lot going on, but I'm going to really only talk about one specific planetary transit that has happened twice this year so far, and the third one will wrap up the end of this year around Christmas time. Hi! Which is Saturn-Uranus square. Yeah. This energy is provoking us, but it is also assisting us to awaken to higher consciousness. And through the awakening process, things do get very, very dark, very difficult, very challenging to really awaken us to more of the truth of who we are. Wi-Fi has been wacky. Everything's been really wacky. Mercury is pre-shadow retrograde, and Uranus is just extremely fueled. Both of them interact with our electronics, our technology. Plus we've had the sun very, very active. Hi, extremely active. We have just recently had some CMEs emit from the sun, which is a coronal massive ejection. That energy will hit the earth by this weekend. However, a lot of us are already feeling this energy. If you're energetically sensitive, animals are responding to the CMEs, so are children, infants. I definitely have already started to feel them. They can really bring up some headaches, body aches, strange tingling sensations, and restlessness, anxiety, insomnia, digestive issues, a lot of interesting things with the physical body, but also through our mind and just our nervous system in general can be overstimulated. It already is overstimulated with the way that we live here on Earth, but having this energy coming from the sun, it just really intensifies a lot of that too. So as I was saying, we're in this extremely pivotal point in human history. We have the friction that's been created from the Saturn-Uranus square transit. We've already had two, and this energy is in play all year long. We're gonna have our grand finale the end of this year, right around Christmas time. So we have Saturn, the rules of the past, the regulations. We have Uranus, freedom, evolving, the awakener. This transit of Saturn and Uranus squaring, which is a challenging aspect, it's representative of Aquarius, the age of Aquarius, to awaken and evolve into a whole new level of consciousness as humanity, as a collective. Saturn sometimes does not like change. The shadow side of Saturn can really resist change, kicking and screaming. Saturn represents the habits of the past, our habits Uranus is inviting us all to outgrow those patterns. Uranus is really pushing heavily for great change for all of us. Uranus is the great awakener. Yeah. Yes, it can also bring sleepiness as well as insomnia. So you either feel like you can't sleep at all and you have all this restless energy, or you just can't seem to wake up. It's one or the other. There's other energies in play that also add to that as well. But these CMEs, they're no joke for the human body. Just the physical pains and aches, every joint, every muscle, everything, just you'll have pains where there was an old injury, burning sensations. I could go on and on and on about the physical symptoms. So, certainly check with your doctor if you feel necessary. This is not medical advice, but this is scientific advice. Just look up CMEs from the sun. You might get specific, it depends on, what site you get to, but I always push for suspicious observers site because they tie right in with NASA, but they also kind of challenge NASA at the same time sometimes. Anyway, neither here nor there, I digress. So we have Uranus pushing for this change, for freedom, for our freedom. Right now, humanity is experiencing tremendous growing pains. Inwardly, the wisdom that we each hold inside is rising up as we grow, as we mature. Yet outwardly, we're still operating from this habitual place. What's familiar? It's habits of the past. Hi. So, the positive aspects of Saturn is really supporting us to work hard on ourselves, work hard within ourselves to individuate and become truer, more authentic versions of ourselves, instead of staying as a repeat from the past version. The more we find our true, authentic nature, the freer we become. So in order to fully awaken, as I was saying, usually things get worse before they get better. We're experiencing this right now as a collective. More people are waking up, realizing the insanity of everything. We have the South Node still in Sagittarius for the rest of this year, and this shows us how some people are extremely attached to their belief systems, very, very attached to their belief systems. We've got one group of belief systems fighting another group of belief systems, and this is all fueled by the potent energy of Pluto squaring Eris. Pluto is our soul's journey to our evolutionary state of being here on Earth, and Eris is the goddess of discord. This is highlighting the survival instincts in people, the fight or flight or freeze. Survival of the fittest, dog eat dog world. It really, this brings out Saturn's negative side with the point of view of, life's a bitch and then you die. So I'm going to get mine now. I'm going to get whatever I need to get, regardless of the means. Materialism, greed, taking advantage of other people. This is all due to these toxic, blinded belief systems that people still hold strongly to. We've been in the calm before the storm for pretty much all of this year up until this point. Even the last full moon, we were still kind of at the calm of the storm. We were feeling like something's coming, but we weren't sure what. Now we're starting to see some flashes of lightning. We're starting to hear a little bit of thunder. We might even be getting a couple raindrops on us. The storm is coming. the cosmos is getting stormier and stormier, and will continue over the next few months. We'll climax at the end of this year. As I was saying, around Christmas, the last Saturn-Uranus square will take place. And that's the third and final for this year. The energy will be at a peak maximum at that point in time. So with that said, we have Venus in Scorpio now. Venus is in her detriment in Scorpio. However, she still operates not on the same level as she would, say, even in Libra, where she was. But Scorpio, this is our emotional processing, our deep inward emotional processing. Venus, representing our relationships, brings us shadow work within our close relationships to others. Those relationships that trigger our wounds from our past to come up and surface, to hopefully transmute. When I say transmute, because energy cannot be destroyed or created, we need to be able to shift it, change that energy, that mindset, that feeling, what that trigger brings to us. You want to ask yourself, is this true, what you're feeling? What story is it tied to? What story is it attached to in your mind? So this shadow work can deepen these relationships if you're conscious to what is actually going on. Or we just trigger each other back and forth over and over again, really leading us into this almost psychotic type of drama over time. So meanwhile, we also have Pluto, who is the ruler of Scorpio, our soul's evolutionary journey, in a tight square with Mercury. Now, Mercury represents our mind, our thoughts, our mental processing, our thought patterns, perceptions. Pluto is our soul's evolutionary journey. Pluto can be, Pluto will take away from you what you're attached to. Especially any of our attachments, because you don't want to be so strongly attached to someone, something, or a belief or a thought process that it takes you away from yourself. So if that starts to happen, Pluto will take that away from you. And it seems very traumatizing, but it is for a purpose. It's for growth. It's for wisdom. We're trying to change our thinking patterns to a more positive and inspirational way of perceiving things, instead of the hell that we're perceiving or people are perceiving currently. One more thing to bring up, we have the full moon in Pisces coming up on Monday. Monday is the 20th. This is going to be intense. Pisces is an intense sign of, it is a very spiritual journey itself. It's watery, it's emotional. Moons are also emotional. The full moon, our heart, our soul in our emotions. So our feelings are going to be very, very strong. They are already strong. We're already in this energy. During a full moon, people tend to be more strongly reactive. So our emotional bodies are really lit up at this moment. Senses are heightened. Our emotions are heightened. We're feeling more intensely, getting triggered easier and easier and easier. The storm is gaining momentum. It's getting stronger, the storm that we are upon. The full moon is also in a conjunction to Neptune, also in Pisces. Very interesting energy this is. And as a side note, if anybody is really experiencing some of the more mystical sides of Neptune currently, I'd love to hear about it, because I know for myself, I've been getting it all day, every day and night. So are a lot of my friends and family. So it's really interesting to hear some of the quirky, silly, interesting stories that other people have shared with me over the last few days. Animals are big messengers. They always are, but right now, extremely active in giving us messages. They are tied to our soul's grouping, our ties, our ancestral, our guides, our angels, whatever you want to call it, your soul group, animals. This week alone, I have had experiences and also friends with snakes, bees, bees and birds for me always. Interesting insects. Some I have not seen in a very long time. Yeah, so the animals are talking to us more so than usual. Neptune is supercharged in Pisces. Neptune will be in Pisces for a few more years. It's been in Pisces since I think since 2012. So we have a few more years of Neptune in Pisces supercharged, spiritually evolving us. Neptune represents psychic sensitivity. This is interesting energy. So we're going to tie this psychic sensitivity with the full moon in Pisces. They are together, conjunct. Their energy is combined. Gonna be an interesting full moon for sure. So we're going to be very psychically sensitive and emotionally sensitive. The veils between the dimensions are thinner than ever. Some will feel this much more than others, especially if you have a lot of water in your chart, or if you're just already psychic and you know it, or you're energetically sensitive. There's a lot that we're picking up through the collective. And as I always say, I pick up collective energy all the time. It's taken me years to understand how to operate that way, to understand what is mine and what is not, my feeling, what is my feeling and what is not. There's so much pain and suffering going on in the world right now. It's at its maximum, and it maximizes and heightens fear consciousness. With emotions and psychic sensitivity also heightened, we're feeling and picking up on all of the collective fear, grief, anger, rage, pain, and suffering. It can become extremely overwhelming. This is the challenge right now. Through this moon phase, how do we deal with all of this? Our stress responses are very damaging to us, so we want to pay attention to everything. Stay as present as possible in every waking moment. Try not to, I say don't, but try not to become overwhelmed by all the sensitivity and just go and numb yourself, because this is also going to be a challenge. We all have our vices. And when I say numb yourself, it doesn't necessarily have to be drugs or alcohol. I know that's like the first thing that we all think of, but it could be anything from binge watching Netflix, even binge watching astrology, although I'm glad that you're all here. We can hide ourselves in work, distracting ourselves, all of these things. It won't work with Neptune and Uranus and Saturn and Pluto in this energy. But you want to be aware of your vices. You want to be aware of your addictions, because this is showing us our habitual patterns. When things get too hard, what is it that you go for? What do you do? Do you try to just numb it all out by something outside of yourself? Be very aware of your choices, especially when you just want to check out of reality right now. Vices, addictions to anything pleasurable and repeatable over and over again. Like I said, Netflix binging on anything, food, you name it, whatever takes you out of your overwhelm. That is habitually a pattern for you. Be aware of your vices right now. Instead, try to expand your consciousness through meditation or visualization, introspection, surrender to the divine plan. So here we are in this Uranus freedom-seeking energy, and we find the walls closing in on us by Saturn. If you're strongly urged to take action as the walls are closing in, non-violent disobedience or resistance, similar to Gandhi, seems to be the best approach through what we're going through right now. Even if you're not needing to take action, this is the best state of mind to be in. Think of Gandhi while the walls close in on you, on us. Go within, expand your consciousness, connect with your soul's essence, connect with your higher self, and know at a deeper level the real truth. The real truth that can only come from within you, not outside of you. One other thing to mention with the solar flares and the CMEs, as well as Saturn-Uranus square, especially Uranus energy, is some very volatile weather patterns that keep brewing around us. And a lot of these will not be tracked by our satellite radar accurately, I'm getting. I've noticed this recently, and my guides are very, very good at preparing myself for these things. And yeah, enough times to just check the radar on my end before I go outside to do something, and suddenly I'll be downpoured on where there was nothing at all. So just be mindful of all of these things that are going to creep up, pop up on us over the course of this full moon cycle in Pisces, conjunct Neptune in Pisces, Saturn, Uranus square, Pluto squaring Mercury. We've got quite the mix of energy here. So how are you guys all doing? I'm going to do a collective reading for everybody, and then we'll get into the zodiac here. I know that there was more I wanted to share. It just escapes me right now, so maybe it'll come up. I'm sure if it's meant to come up, it will. But let's see what comes through for the collective currently. Oh, I know exactly. Thank you. I know exactly what I was going to say. So if you are already in tune with energy and you read energy, a lot of readers, a lot of card readers, energy readers, we're only getting about, we can really only pick up accurate energy, more current, because of the frequency of the energy, and it's moving faster and faster. A lot of the energy that I will pick up, sometimes I'll say time, because time actually is not how we perceive it here on Earth. A lot of times what I pick up could have happened already or may happen 6 months down the line. Most likely what I'm picking up now is very present, very relevant to the current time, current moment. I'm getting a 3-day leeway there. So just FYI with that, especially if you listen to or follow any other readers, just be aware of that factor currently for this month of September. All right, so let's see what comes through for the collective currently. What is the message for the collective? What is the collective experiencing this moment in time? Spiritual strength, Uranus, that freedom, awakener. A lot of people are waking up to a much higher consciousness, kind of coming out of that fog, that amnesia. The crazier and crazier things get in life. And trust me when I say, this is just the beginning. They are going to get crazier. So we need to stay very strong internally. Try not to react. Respond after you take time to get your inner knowing, get your own insight. Ask yourself questions. Asking questions is very important. All right, the waiting game. And base chakra. Anything else? Yeah, I think a lot of people are very, very confused right now and ungrounded. Rightly so. This energy can really bring people out of their element, especially if you're newly awakened, and it can be kind of scary or really scary. Homelessness keeps coming up, and I know that this is something that, not me personally, but I have been working with somebody very close to myself who has been homeless all of this year. Currently staying in a tent in my woods here. Been trying to get them help in getting a place to actually stay and live. It's been extremely difficult here in Chester County. Not knocking Chester County, I don't want to do that, but I'm going to say emotional loss. Thank you. Bottom of the deck. Bottom of the deck, prosperity begins. This card speaks to me, and balance below that. This prosperity is our birthright to be here on this earth, our roots. Every individual here on this earth has a right to be here and a right to be free, a right to be who they are deep at a core level. And this is what's beginning. People are beginning to realize, I'm tired of being a pawn for somebody else. I'm tired of playing a role for somebody else because that's what they tell me I have to do or who I have to be. Universe below that. So right now, to get spiritual strength, you really do have to go through the fires and through turmoil, tribulation, a lot of tests and challenges. And it seems like time has just lingered on. Things haven't changed. It just keeps the same old, same old, same old. You're waiting and waiting and waiting for something to shift. What you're waiting to shift is yourself. We each need to shift to a higher perspective so that we get that inspiration to take inspired action, not reaction. It requires us to be grounded, rooted within ourselves, confident and stable, but mostly just grounded, rooted. If you feel that you are not stable right now, really try to take some time away from anything that will distract you. To yourself. Go outside, take a deep breath, try to get near a body of water if possible. That helps a lot. There are so many practices. You can also just do a Google search on the root chakra. That will help a lot. So emotional loss, and this is the root of all of the turmoil. There is a sense of a loss of all that's familiar, a loss of your freedom, a loss of your birthright to be free. There could also be loss of a loved one, a pet, a home, a job. There's a lot of loss. There's a lot of pain and suffering going on in the planet right now. And I pick up on it every day. It takes a lot of work for me to get going because every morning I wake up, and when you wake up in the morning, that's how you start your energy. Because when we go to sleep, we're not in control of our energy at that point. When you wake up, you are. Your energy is your emotions. So when you feel this dense energy, and there's nothing linked in your mind or your experiences to that matches that feeling, know that you're picking up on collective energy. It's not your energy. This actually helps kind of remove it from you, lift you from it, but there are other practices that tie in and help with that as well. So I'm going to get a couple cards from the tarot for the collective, and I'll go into the elements of the zodiac. I also busted out my original tarot cards. I think I'm supposed to read from them. Okay, let's see. I haven't read from these in a while. Please remember these readings are general, as I'm reading for the collective. Many people take what resonates for you and leave the rest. Try not to build a story. If it doesn't resonate for you, it's not for you. Okay, let's go. Anything else? Okay, that's the Fool. Wanted to pop right out. This is, having faith. Having faith in a higher source than yourself. Having faith in yourself. Take a leap of faith, a giant leap of faith, and act like the Fool. He's about to walk off that cliff and he does not even care. Because he knows somebody's going to catch him. The universe will catch him. His dog's along with him. Because animals are very connected to spirit. If you ever feel disconnected, go be around an animal and you'll find some spiritual connection. You must be present, though. These are subtle energies that aren't so subtle right now, I must say. Especially the way Neptune has been operating lately. They're not as subtle as they usually are. Okay, anything else for the collective? Death. Death, rebirth. This is removing the old patterns, the old layers, transformation, rebirth. We have to shed the old patterns, the old habits, the old ways of thinking in order to have a whole new start, a whole new outlook, a whole new perception in life. So yes, this is, and the Emperor. Whoa, 3 major arcana back to back. The Emperor is being in the driver's seat of your life now. And stop relying on outside sources and forces to feed your security, your knowledge, your knowing. You're just picking up what other people are putting down. You want to pick up what you've got already. You want to pick up what the universe is giving you instead. Become in charge of your own vessel, your own body, your own mind, your own soul, your own life. Okay, anything else? It's pretty straight and to the point. Pretty strong message. 3 major arcana back to back. I think that's it for the collective. Well, okay. Ooh. All right. So this is interesting. We have the Lovers at the bottom. And then we have the 2 of Wands with Justice. Justice and the Lovers. That's 5 major arcana. This is life-changing energy. It is not to be taken lightly. It is no joke. So what this is saying to me is that taking that leap of faith, realizing nothing makes sense. Things are insane. There's got to be something I'm missing, right? Have that faith. and learn to read your own inner knowing. Allow the energy and also your will, your desire to transform yourself, your life into something that is more authentic to you. Shedding the old ways, the old patterns, the old ways of thinking. Taking control of your life and not expecting or looking to anything outside of yourself for that. So this starts a new, right now, you're thinking about it, planning for something new, a new path, a new destination, a new journey, one of balance and justice for yourself and for others. This is not just an individual journey any longer. We are pulling in collectively. We are reading off of each other. We always are, but there are times where we're kind of forced or pulled into what I call the void. You kind of feel like you don't relate to anybody and everybody else has got their own thing going. I'm all alone, but there's a reason for that. That is a reason for that. And the Lover's card is telling me this is getting in touch with yourself, unity consciousness. So that when we do reconnect with others, it is a much deeper connection and more loving, honest, and authentic connection. One where we don't judge each other and get triggered. If you're triggered, you understand why you're triggered, because synchronistically we're brought together with certain people because we have the same energetic frequencies to pull out the old pain, the old wounds, the old story to be transmuted. It's important to do. We help each other that way. So instead of judging or saying, you know, that person's a bitch or I don't like that person because they make me feel this way, well, understand why they make you feel that way. It's not them doing it. It is your soul's contract with that person to bring that stuff up, to let it go and change it, change that energy. Okay. So let's start off with the fire signs. We have Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And I'm not sure which cards I want to use for this one. I think I'm going to go with the Muse. I'm really fond of the Muse, so we're going to go with that. All right. Fire signs. Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. If any of you have strong Aquarius in your chart, especially if it's your rising sign, understand that you may be experiencing some increased challenges at this part of your journey because there's something really important for you to contribute to humanity. And in order to do so, sometimes we have to kind of get cracked wide open so that there's nothing lingering in our energy to pull us back into our old patterns. Not sure where that came from, but for anybody out there, it's a message specific for somebody. All right, fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. It's coming through for the fire signs. Ace of Inspiration. Starting to feel a connection. Starting to feel some source of inspiration. This is the beginning of, it could be through meditation or whatever practice you have to still your mind, fire signs. Page of Emotions. This is a playful energy. Whatever is inspiring, it's inspiring you to take a lighter, light-hearted approach to life. Yeah, and not see everything so black and white. Yeah. But yet understand how the fractals of time and life may look and seem and feel one way until they're not. So try not to make up a story about anything, fire signs, until you see the full picture, the bigger picture. 10 of materials, page of inspirations, page of materials. So you've got a lot of new beginnings happening here. You have, yeah, okay. Anything else? I'm going to show you the cards in just a minute because a couple different messages are coming through here. All right. Fire signs, awakening. And Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Thank you. Bottom of the deck. Wow. Okay. Not bad, fire signs. Bottom of the deck, Ace of Voices. So this is, this speaks to me of that inner wisdom that's really starting to shine through, and you're starting to, this is your goal. This is overall message. Wanting to see life more colorful, more vibrant. Your soul's essence is calling you. And it is sparking this inspiration, maybe picking up on this energy through nature, through the animals. Whatever it is, it has you kind of in a trance almost. And speaks to you of being in this more playful energy of love. See how the heart chakra is just bursting open, and she's got all kinds of, this is interesting. Yeah, it's kind of like Alice in Wonderland a little bit within an aquarium. But it is you know, starting to see a lot more in life than you ever did before, and like, ooh, what's in this little cave here? A whole nother world kind of thing. So where you're coming from right now is, you know, things one day seem really dark, the next day they're not. Oh, it wasn't really that way. It's black and white, black and white. This has to do with your home, your family. I'm getting home very strongly, fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So something on the home front is waving in and out of your life. One day it seems good. The next day it's like, ooh, I don't even want to be there. I don't want to be around anything. So you're trying to like figure out what this is. Why do I feel this way? Well, I'll tell you another reason. You've got this this starting sensation of your psychic abilities. You're picking up, you're picking up a lot. You might not be deciphering it all, but you do know that there's a lot of mystical things happening right now. And this is really helping with this lighthearted, fun, childlike quality, wonder that is probably your best quality, fire signs. All of us, our best quality is like, you know, a child. It's a new start. This is how you want your new start. You're awakening to what in life has been pulling you down. And it is just this black and white way of perceiving and thinking of things, you know, good and bad. See it all as divine. Ace of Materials. See everything as divine, because it is. And there are always higher forces and sources at play through every experience, every sensation, everything that we experience here on Earth. So, starting this new start in life, it takes strength, taming your inner beast, taming the ego, and transmuting your past pain, transmuting whatever it is that has you perceiving things black and white, good or bad, and expressing yourself fully expressing every emotion that you feel, being mindful of others, those that you love, because you don't want to like cuss someone out or ream someone out and not acknowledge it. You don't want to react. So keep that in mind, fire signs. There may be some things brewing up with you that can be difficult at times, and it's overwhelming. It's emotionally overwhelming. Knowing this energy that we're in and the full moon energy coming up, you want to like just sit back, keep that light-hearted, childlike wonder about yourself, and keep those colorful, inspirational juices flowing. All right, fire signs. That's for you guys. Go on to earth signs next. Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. What's going on with the earth signs? And we're all experiencing some major shifts. One day we're up, the next day we're down. It's very bipolar feeling. And I'm not categorizing that because I actually don't agree with any kind of diagnosis. Currently, I feel like if people understood energy and this journey, we wouldn't even be having any kind of conversation about psychiatric diagnoses or anything like that. All right, earth signs, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. What are the messages for the earth signs? Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Nine of Voices. It's like a nightmare. Insomnia, restlessness, maybe sleeping too much. Could be, you know, a little bit of both. But this is tension, stress. The energy's building. It's building within your body. Old patterns are coming up, old habits, the old you coming back around. Three of materials. Let's keep going. This could be tension around friend groups, groups of people even. Eight of Voices. Yeah, feeling trapped and stuck. No way out. Nothing's going to change. I've done everything. I've tried everything and it won't change. This is the mentality, earth signs. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. You're not trapped. You're not stuck. But if you keep telling yourself that, you can stay there for as long as you wish. 10 of Emotions. This has to do with your 10 of Cups. Your happiness. Your vitality. Let's keep going. I feel like you feel like you're losing it. Earth signs, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Or you're stuck in some weird vortex that you can't get out of. All right. Knight of Voices, Seven of Voices, Two of Voices, and the Lovers. Can I get one on the Lovers card, please? Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Thank you. Three of Cups. Yep, death at the bottom. Okay, earth signs, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Bottom of the deck, overall energy for this reading is death. So you're going through a transformation. You're in the thick of it right now, earth signs. So stay with me, stay present, okay? Because it seems that you're experiencing some stress, and you're having a hard time connecting to your higher self, connecting to your guides, connecting to the divine, however, whatever you call it. Whatever you call your higher connection, you're not feeling it. You're not tapping in. You're not getting there. And it's stressing you out. And it's kind of has you on repeat of your old past patterns, pain, suffering, trauma. Earth signs, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. And it's got you feeling very stuck and trapped. Can't move, can't see ahead, can't see the light at all. And it's very dark and scary. This is not your cup of tea, earth signs. You're really shooting for, you miss your happiness. You miss those happy gatherings with others, that connection, that deep connection, that real connection that you don't even need to speak with another. You telepathically know each other. That is what's missing, earth signs. United voices. And it's got you so restless. This energy is moving really fast. It has you wanting to express yourself to someone, anyone that'll listen, but you're not feeling like there is anybody out there that will listen to you. Black and white thinking. You know, that's your judgment. That is, you want to turn that judgment inward to yourself and ask yourself those same questions. Whatever you're perceiving outside of yourself, you want to turn that into your inward and ask yourself, why am I really seeing this? If I were to be an experiment of the universe, what are they trying to tell me that I need to change or transmute? Well, you do have this split energy. There's half of you that is completely resonating with what I'm saying right now, where you do understand, you have had this connection, you know this connection, but then something will pull you in a whole nother direction and you go towards your old self, your old ways, your old habits, patterns, ways of being. You have a choice to make. You need to decide which way you're going to go. Are you going to go what's familiar to you, or are you going to evolve, elevate your consciousness, and go towards your higher connection? Because this is the key. This is the key to connecting with others, is getting to your higher connection and connecting to yourself, your higher self, and complete unity within yourself. There are supportive people and energies out there for you, waiting for you. So you want to get out of your own way, earth signs, and shed that old skin once and for all, so that you can reconnect, reunite deeply with those that you feel like you're 10 of cups with, that you don't even need words. You understand each other, you get each other. It doesn't mean that you have to have the exact same opinions or perceptions on anything, because those are all just our own stories anyway. Okay, that's for the earth signs. So let's go on to air next. Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. What is the message for the air signs? Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. Cards are a little sticky. It's interesting. All Oh, and the devil just popped out. I'm going to put it back in, but just making note of that one. Air signs, Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. What is the message for the air signs, please? Page of Voices. I'll show you the cards in just a minute. Analyzing yourself. Going. Seven of Emotions. Ace of Inspiration. Oh, you're analyzing your choices that you've made in the past. Or your options. Or both. What I chose in the past turned out to be pretty wacky. Maybe I should rethink that. Or why did I choose that? What was the reason that I chose that? What was the lesson? What's the wisdom gained here? There's always a lesson in everything. The Sun, Four of Materials. All right. So what are we holding on to, air signs? Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. Holding on to... Everybody's getting Seven of Voices. That's interesting. This is a trickery energy. There's a lot of... This is one of the things about Neptune. Neptune is very spiritual. Neptune can be a great trickster. Can trick your mind on purpose to see how you're going to react and respond the way that you have in the past. And when you hold on to your past story, then yeah, you still got it in your energy. It's still there. Okay. Anything else for the air signs? Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. You know better, though. You have Ace of Inspiration and the Sun. I mean, this is part of the journey. This is the challenging part of the journey. We're all being challenged. Anything else for the air signs? Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. A lot of patience involved. A lot of thinking outside of the box involved. A lot. Okay. Four of Inspiration. Yeah, it's time to, yeah. Okay, thank you. Oh, well, bottom of the deck is the devil, so it popped out on purpose. Usually does. Okay, air signs, Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. The devil is the overall message. What has you controlled? What are you attached to? What is attached to you that you can't seem to let go of? What is it that still is controlling you? Well, let's see here. You are doing a lot of it. You're analyzing yourself. You're doing that. You're checking out all of the experiences that you've had and thinking, analyzing, going deep within, I'm getting too, of, yeah, your choices, your options, what you've done, what you're learning. I think you're confused right now, air signs, and rightly so. Very confusing energy if you're not completely connected with your higher self, within yourself, mind, body, soul. Because you really do have the ability to connect to your higher self and pull in that amazing energy of bliss, joy, happiness. This is your vitality, the sun. This is what gets you going, gets you inspired and creative energy. What is holding you back with the devil is this attachment to deception, deceiving energy, black and white thinking, good and bad. You know, one day you see something And then there's a bunch of foxes, sneaky, deceiving, dark. And then the next day it's like, oh, it wasn't really that bad. And you realize it, you know this. So really what it takes, air signs, is it takes some time to rest, recuperate, contemplate, meditate, connect with other like-minded souls out there that you feel a resonance with. But most importantly, the Empress. You want to nurture yourself. You want to mother yourself. You want to give yourself that cosmic energy from your heart to yourself. Do what feels good and right for you, and for you only. Do not listen to other people's judgments, opinions, advice. That is for the air signs. So last but not least, water signs. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. What are the messages for the water signs? For this energy going into the full moon in Pisces. Now, I do want to mention that I am leaving for the shore for a week. And so yeah, I'll be at the beach during the full moon. I will bring my cards, so who knows? Maybe I'll still do a live reading from the ocean. That would be pretty cool, huh? But if I'm not on for a week, I'm just having too much fun at the ocean. Anyway, let's get on with it. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Oh, good. Thanks, Francesca. I'm glad that you resonated with some of that. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Ace of Inspiration coming out for everybody here. All right, let's see where this is going for the water signs. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Seven of Materials. Okay. So, you're connecting with your higher self, feeling the inspiration of source energy. You're on that bridge, leaving the past behind you, walking towards your future self, and really taking the time to enjoy all of the things that life is offering you. Five of Voices, Five of Inspiration. And I'm getting that, you know, you have some other maybe friends or family that are helping you along this journey. In subtle ways, they may not even realize it themselves. Let's keep going. You have been triggered though, or there's still triggering energy for you, water signs. With the five, okay. All right. Okay. Anything else? The water signs. Yes, this watery energy. You also probably have some close connections, water signs, to you, friends or family, that are that source of, they're helping you along by triggering you. And Two of Inspiration. Okay. All right. This is pretty. All right, water signs. Pretty to the point here. Bottom of the deck for the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Eight of Materials. So this is the web that you weave through life with your emotions and your interactions and your reactions or responses to life. This is all about what fabric you're weaving through right now. So you're in touch, you're tapping into your higher self, you're getting that creative energy flowing, which is good. You're leaving the past behind, the past emotions, past baggage, past patterns, past everything. You have some deeper connections within your realm, family, friends, a lover, I'm not sure. It's somebody or a few people that are the source of triggering your past pain to come up so that you can transmute it, showing you, you know, what's still left in your energy. And then you can transmute that energy. You can take that energy of the past and change the story. Rewrite the story for yourself into something that is more uplifting for you, that you can actually take and then use to help others, which is ultimately the goal here for all of us. The magician, use that as your creative energy. Instead of manifesting through your pain or your past pain to have these triggers come up over and over again or re-experiencing them, you're transmuting them, which is beautiful. It's that fool's journey. You know, having that faith, leaving everything behind and rewriting the story. Beautiful, beautiful. 2 of inspiration. And this opens you up to then exploring new parts of yourself and life, and also opens you up to new wisdom, new knowledge for yourself. So that's beautiful, water signs. Love it. So I'm going to wrap this one up. We're going to get one from the soul's journey and one from the secret language of animals, since animals are very, 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 very connected and very active in their messages to us right now, especially. So if any of you have bees, snakes, what other experiences do I have over and over and over again? Bees and snakes and bugs and birds. Comment below. I'd love to hear about them, because a lot of them are very synchronistic. And all of us that are connected, I mean, we're all connected, but all of us that are deeply connected or interwoven together have very similar experiences with the same animals, which is very interesting to find. Okay, so let's see. What are the messages for us? Something flip? No. For us all, to wrap up this reading. All right, I'll keep that, but I'm going to take another one. We got dragonfly. Oh, and dragonflies, actually. I just saw one yesterday, which I don't typically see here at my home, but I did yesterday. This is magic, spontaneity, immediacy, change. Okay, thank you. And stick insect. Wow. Stillness, awareness, discernment, and composure. So this is our advice here. You want to tune into the magic, especially now. There's a lot of magical, synchronistic, mystical things that are happening all around us. And if you still the mind and you're very present, you're going to really tap into them, and they can be a lot of fun. There's a lot of really important messages that come through with this, and you know, be spontaneous, so, and go through your change. Be very present, but be very particular in your journey. I want to change myself now, not tomorrow, not next week, now, right now. Because that's all we have is a series of now moments in like frames, like a, you know, like film, like movie. It's frames of time that we see as a line, linear. So be present, be still, stick insect, stillness, still the mind, be very present. This is the time in human history to be very aware of everything, your energy, especially your emotions, how you're feeling, and using your own discernment. Not what others are saying, not what the media is saying, not what anything outside of yourself is telling you. You want to use your intuition, your discernment, and also maintain composure through these challenges. Try not to be reactive and instead still your mind. Take a pause, take a breath, and allow your higher self to kind of come in so that you can respond instead of react. Those are the animal messages. Let's see what comes through the soul's journey. Yes, because we have the psychic sensitivity on all-time high and our emotional sensitivity at an all-time high. It's very important to be as present as possible, very aware of yourself and your emotions as possible, and take your mind off of judging others or, just get everything that was programmed into your mind out of there. Okay, one more shuffle. This is advice for all of us, the collective. Through this game changer energy. Game changer keeps popping in my head, and I guess I was driving through Exton or somewhere today. There was a big sign, it said game changer. Okay, something is a game changer for me. I don't know. Honesty. Oh, this is an important one. We need to be honest with ourselves. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. Yes. Don't expect that the media is giving you the truth, that other people are giving you the true story. Only you know your truth. Only you know deep inside that inner knowing. Taking away all the stories of everybody else, all the statistics, all of the everything. And what is brewing inside of you? What do you feel? What do you know? What's your deep inner knowing? Be honest. Be honest with yourself. Very, very important message for all of us. So that is a wrap for this evening. I hope you guys are all doing well. Thank you for tuning in with me. And I hope to be back on maybe tomorrow. If not, maybe I'll see you from the ocean. So I finally get to go for a whole week. I'm excited. I am a water sign. I love the ocean, and I have not seen it at all this year. So very, very excited for that. Oh, thank you, Francesca. Yes, I will have fun. And, all of you guys, be good to yourself. Take good care of yourself. And, one foot in front of the other. Try to stay very present and try not to allow the mind to get caught up, because Mercury, again, in pre-shadow going into retrograde, yeah, our minds are going to be going all over the place. So the best bet is to not listen to anything outside of yourself, but know yourself. Know thyself. Very important, because you become your own inner guide. All right. Thanks for tuning in. I love you guys all. Thank you, Francesca, for all of your comments, and I'll read the rest of them too. Please comment below on all of your experiences, and love to hear from you guys. So keep checking in. I'll be back. Have a great night. Bye.